Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel, Wellington Bikes. I am Paul Wellington. Today we're going to be doing a trail ride through beautiful and sunny St. Catharines. We're down here at Glendale Avenue. The start of the trail is up here. There's a nice loop, some good flowy stuff, a lot of escarpment riding, things like that. So let's get going. All right, it's a beautiful day. It's not too humid. It's gonna be a nice day for a ride.
You got one of those two power assist?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. This is full manual. This one, it's just carbon fiber.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
So we're doing some YouTube filming today, making a YouTube video.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you on? Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, you're gonna be on it unless you don't want to be.
It's all good, man. See, liberty, we're all good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you got the E version.
Yeah, where are you going? This way?
Yeah, I'm going on the other side, and then I'm going to take the cam off. We're going to do some stop stuff where I just go down hills and stuff, making a new intro video, and then we're going to be riding all the way up to DQ.
So you go Lower Secret Path, you go the other way.
Yeah, we're going to go all the way up and then around the lake and then through the flowy stuff and then down the hydro hill to the snakes and ladders, and then back down this way on this side. So should be fun. Yeah, I'm filming for intro and then doing the trail so that we can put it up on the mountain biking sites on Facebook and on YouTube and stuff. It's Wellington Bikes, all one word.
What's that?
Wellington Bikes.
Wellington Bikes.
Yeah, Wellington Bikes.
Okay.
All one word.
All right.
Yeah, as you can see, lots of people out today. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. All right, maybe we'll see you further down.
Oh yeah, I just went that way.
Oh, you're finished your ride?
No, I'm gonna go back out. I still got some power left, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it must be making the climbs a lot easier.
Hell yeah. See, that's the thing. I broke my back 11 years ago.
Oh yeah.
In a car accident, and I've had 3 back surgeries.
Yeah.
I put on a lot of weight, but this is something I've loved doing, so I entered into the original off-road squeezers.
Oh yeah. Well, it's yeah, I haven't had a chance to try them, but I hear they make climbing a lot less strenuous.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But in the technical stuff, you want to be right down to eco.
Right.
There's eco, sport, and turbo. You're going up hills, love the turbo, right?
Ah.
So, but that's, like I said, I'm 330 pounds, buddy.
So it makes it a little bit easier, especially going up the escarpment, I would assume.
What's that bike worth?
Pretty sure this one retails for about 5,600 bucks as spec'd.
Yeah.
So you can get, I mean, you can go to the Evo, which is the step up. You get a little bit more travel in the forks, but not much else. It's got the same exact same frame as the S-Works. So
that's pretty much the same, right? The S-Works, I think. No.
Well, the S-Works has better, better suspension, better rims and tires, stuff like that. But the frame is identical on the S-Works.
Okay.
It's the same handmade carbon frame, 11 mil faction. So if I upgrade some of the parts on this, like I'm going to go with a race face carbon bar. I'm going to be going with the SRAM Code RSC brakes. So I'm going to be making a couple upgrades to it. I might change the drivetrain out to an oval race face, but yeah. Other than that, I mean, I got 140 mil on the front right now on the 29. It's a 150 mil shock with a spacer in it.
See, you know way too much. I just bought the bike. I mean, well, I bought it last year, but Kirk told me, yeah, this is what I need. So
yeah, there you go. Right. That's nice. This is the 2019. They've changed the frame design to stiffen it up and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is the Livro, just the first one, I guess. Right? Yeah.
Livro.
Yeah, I saw them in the showroom, but I don't really feel like I need an e-bike just yet. So.
See, I'm 47, buddy.
39, but I'll get there.
One day, yeah.
I'm 39, but I'll get there one day.
Okay, there you go. Maybe I'll see you, maybe
down the trails. Yeah, I'm going to be stopping and taking some footage, like stationary footage, obviously to cut in and edit into the video and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. Sounds good. Nice meeting you, man. We'll see you down the trail.
Yeah, take care. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, see, meet lots of fellow bikers. out here. This is a very popular trail spot. There's Glendale Bridge right there. It's going over this footpath over the 12 Mile Creek. I feel like I've fixed some of the issues with the GoPro from the original part 1 video. As far as frame rate, resolution, color, I don't know exactly just yet. We're trying. I think I fixed the angle a little better as well, so you can see more of the trail ahead as opposed to just kind of looking down. New graffiti. There's always new graffiti on there. So yeah, so let's get started. So we're just coming up into the, I believe this part's called the lowers. So we'll see how this goes. And then anyway, I'm hoping the white balance and everything works out nicely. But this is the like I said, the lowers part 2. Again, we're on the 2019 Specialized Stump Jumper FSR Comp Carbon on 29s. I got 29 by 2.6 in the front, 29 by 2.5 I believe in the rear. And we are rocking and rolling. It's so nice down here. The air is clean and refreshing. Sorry about the phlegmy throat apparently. I'm really hoping that this video actually works out, because the first one was a little iffy, especially because my angle was way off on the helmet cam, so you couldn't actually see too far in front of me. It was just kind of weird looking. Well, we're riding this Laura Secord and Bruce Trail combination, what I lovingly referred to as the loop, which is going to be quite fun. Riding it in this direction has got its definite perks, but it requires a lot more climbing, and there is a lot of climbing. And then in the coming weeks, I plan to film this same loop but in complete reverse, so you can see the differences between riding this in one direction versus the other. And the trail obviously continues far beyond the loop that I'm going to be showing you today, because this is the Bruce Trail after all, which goes right from Niagara Falls right up to Tobermory. So technically you could ride this forever. At least that's what it would feel like, riding up from Niagara Falls to Tobermory. Well, we're riding along the 12 Mile Creek right now, which is just some light off-roading. It's a great spot to warm up your legs, because there are some fairly significant climbs not too far away. Now, the biggest problem I had on the first video that I uploaded, which again is only 11 minutes of this trail, same part that we're filming now. I do have the other parts as well, but the battery ran out about halfway through the trail, and I only had one. So I have another battery with me today. This is Santa's hat, which is quite fun. It's got a nice little flowy section here. Over a little bridge. And I was trying to film in 60 frames, which I don't need. So I'm not really filming anything slow-mo, at least not right now. So we dropped it to 30 for this video, and I turned off the Wi-Fi connection on the Hero 8, which is apparently supposed to save quite a bit of battery life. So I'm hoping that I can get the entire trail plus a little bit of intro filming. Hello. Hello. Before I completely run out of battery. And then, you know, you ride by people, they may think you're nuts for talking to yourself, but I guess that's the nature of making a YouTube video. But they can obviously see the GoPro on the helmet. A little bit of loose gravel here. Oh, there you are. Hi. I met her earlier in the parking lot. And she said she was going for a ride too. And I don't anticipate the trails being too busy, seeing as how it's just getting to be noon on a Friday. So again, lots of people are at work. These trails are always jam-packed with people in the evenings, and especially on weekends. So there's a giant hill over there, and we could go up and skip all this. But even though this is a quite lengthy climb, I like doing this one because it's a really, really good way to get that heart going and get the blood to those legs, so that by the time you get to the top of this, you are right warmed up for what follows. And I've heard some people complain about the trails around here, you know, saying they're more cross-country. There's not really a whole lot going on them. And I suppose that would kind of be true. You know, if you're a experienced all mountain or downhill biker. Awkward out of breath noises. Suppose if you're a, you know, a pro rider or a downhill biker, you could have some fun here, but this wouldn't really qualify as, you know, bike park downhilling or anything like that. That's for sure. But it is fun, and there is some really techie stuff to contend with. Some off-camber downhill sections and some flowy stuff. And hopefully I have enough batteries to be able to show you the whole video. I'm gonna make an attempt at editing as well, so I can post the entire video as one video instead of in parts, because the GoPro Hero 8 segments your footage into 4 GB blocks. So, and there's nothing you can do about it apparently. Whew. So in order to make it all one video again, you gotta throw it into an editing program. All right, I'm just gonna catch my breath here for a minute. Whew. I'll probably edit this part out and get a drink from the Camelback. So this is Rotary Park. That's Pelham Road over there. It's a nice little walking trail and stuff. So right now we're on the Laura Secord Legacy section of the trail, and it merges into the Bruce Trail. There's all sorts of information. There's the Rotary Park floral clock thing, whatever you want to call that. So we just cut through here. There's a trail map. And more bikers. So this loop that I'm riding, depending on how many little offshoot trails or shortcut sections that you take, this trail is, or this loop is about 14 to 15 kilometers on average. So according to my computer, we're 2.4 kilometers into the ride right now, and we're coming up to a nice little flowy section here with some downhills and some uphills. And if you're confident in your riding skills and confident in your bike, you can actually take this section quite quickly. So some people ride this on the right side or down the middle in the rut. I like to take the left because then it allows you to flow right into that, to this uphill, so you get more speed, making it easier to climb up the remainder of this hill before you get to the next downer section here. And then another one. Plateau, and then a little techie. Whew. And I am really hoping that at some point, and this is going to sound really funny, but I am hoping at some point that I crash. Not on this ride particularly, because, you know, who wants to crash, right? But it's always fun to see them when somebody bails on a YouTube video. Makes it more entertaining. So if I do, it'll make for some funny video. But I am wearing a full face helmet, gyro switchblade with the MIPS, which, if you've ever wondered what MIPS is, it's a impact motion, I don't know the exact acronym for it, you can look it up. It's a impact motion protection system, because when you crash, if your helmet is completely rigid, you can end up injuring yourself quite badly just because of the, you know, if your head twists in the impact, it can be quite dangerous. So basically a tutorial for dummies is that the MIP system actually decouples the exterior shell of the helmet from the interior mounting points. Oh, come on. There, get her done. And it actually floats and has some play, so that in the event that you do crash, the helmet will absorb some of that side to side, front to back motion impact, taking that strain off of your neck and skull. MIPS is available on all sorts of riding helmets, and based on the limited information that I do know about it, I would highly recommend it. So I choose to wear a full face helmet for two reasons. One, it makes me look cool. But secondly, face planting a tree is not something I really want to do without some protection. I also wear the POC VPD Air 2 knee pads, which have been fantastic. I haven't had any issues at all with pedaling. I don't feel like they're in the way. They offer very significant protection. And they just feel great. I'm actually considering getting the elbow pads of the same model, because that's one thing I do not have. So I got my gloves, my knee pads. I got some heavy waterproof hiking boots. well, they're not heavy weight-wise. They are very light, actually. They're just heavy material, very beefy, offering good foot protection, nice chunky sole, so it grabs my pedals very well. So as you can see, this trail flows quite a lot uphill, fair amount downhill. But there's a couple switchbacks here. This is only the beginning. The trail gets more techy and then more flowy as you go. Hitting the root there. But I am running tubeless with the Stan's No Tubes tire sealant. Oh, look at a bunny going down the trail there. So much wildlife out here. If you're quiet enough out here, you'll see tons and tons of deer. Saw my first buck actually a couple of rides ago. I've only ever seen fawns and does. We saw a nice big male with big antlers a couple of rides ago. We got a fellow hiker. Making sure the GoPro's still on my head. I'm feeling a bit warmed up here. And now we're coming up to the infamous spot that I can never actually ride up. Just this one section here. I'm going to try it again because I try it every single time. Oh, am I going to make it? Oh, yeah. Woo, yeah. I can honestly say that's the first time I've ever made it up that section because it's quite steep and has quite a bit of root. Almost like trying to ride up a staircase. All right, I'm gonna power up this hill. Oh boy, leg muscles are definitely feeling the burn a little bit here. It's always funny, first couple rides of the season, I can't even make it up this. But then as you know, your body gets used to the climbing and you get back into shape from the winter, it becomes something that's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna catch my breath here for a second. Obviously I have another drink of the Camelback. I can edit this part out if it's boring. Awkward breathing noises. So, fair sized downhill right here. Going back down with a sharp hill and a tree right at the bottom. So you have to be wary and remember to slow down a little bit as you get to the bottom because it gets quite bumpy there. And I've seen guys fly right off the trail there because they can't make the turn. You're going a little bit too fast. Now we're back at the bridge at Laura's Crossing. It's a nice little stream. I'll just stop here and give you a view. It's only maybe a foot deep at most, not even 8 inches today. It does vary. Oh, look at the spider right here. And this water's all coming from DQ. I'm hoping I got this camera angle better. Ooh, I'm moving it. Didn't mean to do that. Shit. I mean, shoot. Oh, ooh. Well, I'd break my derailleur apparently. That should. It's probably okay. So this is the base of the Niagara Escarpment. We're starting to go up here. When you ride this loop backwards, you get to come down all this, which is quite a thrill. There's a bunch of switchbacks up this way. Again, I'm gonna do the cheat, which is basically just walking up this hill section. And again, the trail goes up there and kind of around through the switchbacks and stuff. If you feel like riding up it, you can. I always like doing this part as a walk. Allows me to catch my breath, have a drink, so on and so forth before the trail continues. And this puts us about, at the top of this, puts us about halfway up the escarpment. As you can see, our elevation is already significant. There are a lot of spots here where you definitely wouldn't want to fall. Could be dangerous. But the air is so cool out here. There's a nice little breeze. We haven't had much rain this year, so the trails are nicely packed. So you get pretty good grip. Lots of roots though, especially off camber and weird ones. So you always got to watch, because if you saw my very first YouTube video, you'll see a spot just coming up here that I'd filmed where I tried to ride up and hit a root, and it had just rained an hour before, and I almost wiped out trying to climb up it because my back wheel just slid right off it. Okay. So basically, this is all the good warm-up stuff, because once you get to the top, there's a few good sections that are fun to ride, especially the last half when you take the loop this way. So it's like a good cardio workout to start, and then you get into some more flowy stuff. It's always where I end up skimming up against a tree with my arm or shoulder. Fortunately, I haven't hit anything with my handlebars yet this year, but I did cut them down slightly. I think I'm sitting at about 750 on the handlebars right now, from 780 when I got them. I don't like them when they're full length. I like having a bit more straight down on my arms sort of thing. Now, one thing I did notice when I was previewing and playing back my other YouTube video that I made is that even when you feel like you're going fast and you look down and you're doing, 15-20 kilometers an hour, it doesn't look like you're going all that fast. Mind you, there was an issue on my computer on the last time I had taken the rear wheel off to clean the cassette, and when I put it back on, I accidentally nudged my computer sensor. So on the last ride, it was bouncing all over the place from 0 to 30. I couldn't get a proper read. This is where I tried to ride up with the wet roots and bailed. But this is a very difficult spot anyway to ride up, unless you get good momentum coming into it, because it gets quite steep right there, just for a moment. But anybody who's ever tried to ride up something steep with giant roots in the way knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I have this bike, the 2019 Stump Jumper FSR Comp Carbon 29, and I also have, which I'm going to do a review video and review comparison between the two, is I have also a 2018 Specialized Stump Jumper FSR Comp in alloy, also on 29s, but that one has quite a few components that are different than this bike. They did a complete frame redesign on the Stumpy for 2019. I apologize if my out of breath talking is annoying. It's kind of hard to not, you know, be out of breath when you're climbing up the entire escarpment. So yeah, anyway, we're going to do a review comparison to show all of the differences between the 2019 and the 2018. And in this case, we'll just be ignoring the carbon versus alloy, because that's an obvious difference. It doesn't need to be really mulled over. I don't know what the exact weight of each bike is. I don't have a proper scale, so I'd be having to go off of Specialized website, even though they do indicate that final weights after putting it all together may vary slightly. But this bike does feel at least a few pounds lighter than the alloy. When I lift them both into the truck, I can definitely feel a difference. And I'm also running that one tubeless as well. So in the last video, we took this Morning Star side trail, highlighting all the super dangerous spots to not climb down to DQ Falls, and showing how they closed it because they had to do multiple rescues this year down at the bottom. Let's see if I can show this here. I don't know if you can see this, but it's I mean, there's lots of trees in the way, but it's a good 200 plus feet down to the bottom, and it's very steep. And a lot of people show up here, tourists especially, not so much the locals, because we know what to expect from these trails, and DQ because we all grew up here, but the tourists don't, and they're coming here with their toddlers in bare feet and flip-flops and bringing barbecues, all sorts of stuff. So we've had about 5 people. Hello guys. Hi. They had about 5 people this year that needed to be rescued from the bottom, so they ended up closing it to the public, which is unfortunate. Fortunately, nobody got seriously injured as far as I'm aware, but which just means they're lucky. So, because it is sheer rocks and it's all limestone, Definitely not somewhere where you'd want to fall. So if you ever are going to come here and ride from out of town, trail difficulty is not bad. I'd say beginner to intermediate, or at the very least, like, I wouldn't necessarily be trying to do some of this stuff if it was my first time on a mountain bike on a trail. You might want to stick to more cross-country oriented stuff, but there's a lot of reasonably okay sections here. Oh, there's the gentleman I met earlier, still riding.
Hey,
how you feeling?
I'm doing it.
There you go. I see your battery's still nice and full.
Not really.
Now it's getting down.
Yeah. Glad I'm on my way back. So
there you go. I'll have to try one of these one day.
They're
see
good.
see what the difference is when you try and ride up something with the power assist.
They're good. Where are you from?
St. Catharines.
You and I should maybe hook up, because I have got the ultimate cache of GoPro stuff.
Oh, nice.
Drones, 2 drones.
Nice.
All the GoPro cameras, like shit, you name it.
I almost
got
bought a
all
Mavic Pro, Mavic
all
2.
the attachments too, so.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a Mavic 2 because I wanted the thing to follow me.
Yeah,
but it's hard through here. Apparently, it's not good enough yet. Even with the Mavic 2, with the off the Wi-Fi and onto the better connectivity thing, I'd feel like it'd be losing you every 5 seconds. So I'm still waiting for that technology to get to a point where we could have a drone follow us through here. And I'm on the Ontario Mountain Bike Facebook group, and I'm actually actively looking for people to ride with, because I often am by myself. Even though my girlfriend rides and I have a bunch of friends that ride, it's hard to get everybody together at the same time, right? And it's not safe. Like, I hit some of this stuff pretty hard, and in the event that you crash and you're by yourself, you know, let's say you smash your phone, now you can't call for help. You got a broken arm, bone sticking out, you know, and then you got no help.
You got to get one of those helmets with the tracker on the back.
Yeah, well, I have this one which tracks, and then I have my GPS on my phone, and then I have the GPS on the GoPro, so it knows where I'm at. But it's still,
I haven't done it yet, but apparently as soon as you fall off your bike,
it's impact sensor, yeah, crash sensor, so it'll send out
a message, right?
Which is good. But yeah, I got all my friends that, you know, but then you can't get out, and they can't get out. They're working this time, so most of the time I'm by myself, so I keep putting it out there. That's partially why I started doing YouTube videos.
What's your name?
Paul.
Paul.
Yeah.
My friends call me Kid.
Kid.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I'll have to.
As you can see why. I love riding though. Eh?
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm. I can take your.
Oh, you got your phone? See, take my email or phone number.
Yeah, here. I'll just do this.
Let's see.
It was good seeing you.
Yeah, she's blinking.
Sweet. All right, off I go.
See you, bro.
Enjoy the rest of your ride, man.
Yeah, you too.
I just turned the camera off there for a minute while that gentleman and I were chatting, because we were exchanging phone numbers and stuff. Apparently he's local, and he's riding a Specialized FSR e-bike. I'm not 100% sure what model it was. I didn't really get a good look at it, but I've never tried an e-bike before. That'd be interesting. I'd be interested to see how those feel when you get the motor power under you trying to climb, especially up the climbs that we're doing here on this loop today. And even he was saying it'll be a little bit more fast-paced when I come and do this loop backwards, because again, you've got the entire escarpment to go down. When you take this way, it's a little more cardio, a little more cross-country, but there is some fun stuff coming up, especially that I can't hit in the reverse loop. So I'll be taking a slightly different way, but close enough that you'll get the idea. I'll probably try doing snakes and ladders backwards, which I've never done before, so that'll be fun. And I'm just gonna try and get going here through this rocky section. Yeah, see, you get going, and then you watch it back on the video and you're like, looks like I'm going so slow, but you're really not. I wonder how much those e-bikes actually weigh. With the battery in them and stuff. Now we're gonna have all sorts of videos coming up on this channel. We're gonna be heading out to Waterdown shortly. We're actually going whitewater rafting tomorrow, and I might bring the GoPro for that. But that's just like a family thing with the kids. But it could be fun to get some footage of that if there's any interesting spots or fun rapids. Little rock garden there too. So we'll see how that works out. But we're going to be going up to Waterdown, Ontario to do a day of riding and filming. And there is quite a few trails out there that are more difficult in nature. I believe in the, I think it's called the Black Forest, there's actually a couple of black diamond and double black diamond trails, and there's a full double black diamond with a downhill section that actually has a hip transition gap, and another gap, a few different kinds of drops, and that is definitely for more experienced riders. Hello. So now we've come up that, and this is the active reservoir for the hydro, which is, I don't know if you can see that, but the dam is right there, and the water goes down the tubes, down the escarpment, gravity fed into the turbines for the local generating station. So you can fish here. It's actually a popular fishing spot, but they tell you not to eat the fish, which is understandable. Now, they resurfaced this hydro access road recently, so all these rocks now are super loose, making it more difficult to pedal through. Just a couple of weeks ago, this road was fully packed down really nicely. You could actually cruise pretty fast without feeling bogged down in the rocks. Now this is part of the Lower Secord Legacy Trail. This is actually one of the hydro access roads. And this just leads from one section of the Lower Secord to another section. And I'm actually pretty sure it turns back into the Bruce Trail. Up ahead. And some of my favorite parts to ride on this so-called loop are coming up now, which is why I'm really glad I have another battery, because I feel like this one's probably going to die soon. I think I was down to about 40% when I checked there when I was talking to that gentleman. He says his friends call him Kid, and I suppose that's okay to put on YouTube because that's certainly not his real name. Well, we exchanged numbers, and he expressed interest in having people to ride with as well, as do I. Even though I have a few friends that do this. Again, it's super hard to get everybody out when we're, you know, old and have kids and have jobs and getting everybody out together is a little bit tricky. Plus I find myself riding impromptu quite a bit. It's like, oh, I have time to go for a ride, I'll just go, you know, and then I just head out. So arranging rides last minute is tricky as well. But yeah, if you're from this area or you'd be interested in coming down to this area and going for a ride, you can certainly message me or comment. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a dislike, whichever you'd like. Again, I'm new to this whole concept of filming and doing YouTube videos, but I feel like it could be fun and it's something that I enjoy doing, so why not make videos of it? These are some local ladies. Hello. Obviously, hello. My guess is that they're actually headed to DQ Falls. Again, down at the bottom there, it's quite a popular hanging out and swimming spot, especially for the locals. There's a gentleman coming up here. So I'm hoping that the way I adjusted my camera is allowing for a much better view of this ride than the previous video that I posted. And again, my plan is to maybe do some slight editing on this video, but I want to post it in its entirety instead of parts. So again, this is leading into the forest again, where there's a whole bunch of different trails you can take, and they're all fun. They're all flowy and up and down, and you can ride them quick. You can also hit trees pretty easily. There's quite a few of them right along the edge of the path or the trail. And my hope is to actually get out, maybe not this year, but next summer. Oh, we got folks. Oh, sorry. Thank you. I want to get out to Quebec because a BC POV YouTuber gentleman did a couple of videos out there, and he said that some of those trails rival trails you're going to find in BC and in bike parks in BC, which is definitely something that caught my attention, because I would only consider myself an intermediate level rider. I'm certainly not a pro, but I haven't really had much of an opportunity to learn or practice on trails that are a little more significant, or jumps, which is something I'd really like to learn to do. Larger ones. I can do small jumps, we have a few of them, but nothing major or significant. So it's definitely in the plans. Hello. So we're coming up to the Aboriginal, I believe it's the Aboriginal Peace Monument. Little park section here, which has got a really cool stone monument that they built. I'll come over here quickly. First Nations Peace Monument, Friends of Laura Secord. So this is a neat little peace monument that they've built here with some benches and symbols and things signifying treaties or partnerships with the Aboriginal folks. And in just a minute we're going to be heading over across this bridge over here and into what I would consider a very nice flowy section of trails. All right, time to cross this bridge. reservoir and into a nice little flowy section with multiple ways to go. Just gotta watch so you don't wash out there. Get up this first. This leads in. This is the Bruce. There's a bug just flying into my helmet. Hopefully they got out. So we can get going in here now. And this is one of my favorite sections of trails out here, because it's very up and down and flowy, and you can get going quite quickly through here if you'd like. There's a lot of close proximity trees, so it requires you to definitely pay attention. I have hit trees in here, or skim trees, or shoulder bash trees. A lot of turning and gotta make sure I don't smack the GoPro off a overhead tree. Ugh, very tight spot here. When you come the other side, the whole one side of that tree is all dinged up from all the people hitting it with their handlebars. You gotta watch here too, because there's so many different trails that intersect with one another. It's fast, or should I say it's easy to come around the corner quickly and right into somebody else on a bike going the other way. In fact, a lot of riders around here use bells on their bikes to indicate they're coming around the corner. So I can have a small review. When I switched over to this bike, the 29 tire is definitely different than what I was used to, being on 27.5 plus tires for so long. But the head angle is different on this bike as well. My Cannondale, it was more slack, so I felt a little more confident on that bike leaning it over into corners. It took me a couple of rides to feel confident on this bike leaning it over, because I always felt like I was going to wash out for some reason. Maybe it's just the tire profile, I'm not sure. But now that I've ridden this bike a whole bunch and gotten used to it, I feel a lot more confident leaning it over, except on loose gravel, which is never easy to lay down without washing out. You got to be careful, and there's a few sections of loose gravel to contend with when you're riding in these trails, especially where they've built it up, because we get these ruts and divots, and then they I got somebody jogging. Thank you. Oh no, that's the way that I normally take, but I just found this way recently. So you can go straight, and that just kind of goes straight out to the back of Brock. This way, same kind of idea, except it's a little more, you know, not such a straight line. But if you go left here, there's this nice little extra section that I found that's actually quite fun to ride once you get over all these roots. So I've started taking this as my loop trail now. I don't think it adds too much as far as distance, but it makes it more fun, because out behind Brock is just another hydro access road, about 1 kilometer and a bit, that you can ride on, which we've done quite normally. But to be truthfully honest, I'd rather ride trails the entire way, and since that's possible, if you look, because there's so many different ways you can take. I've decided this is the way to go as part of the loop. And there is a whole bunch of different trails just in this vicinity, so you can take different ways all the time. And even if you're not familiar with the area, you can pretty much be rest assured that they all kind of come out in the same area. So even if you take a turn that you didn't expect, you're probably not going to actually get lost. You'll just come out, 100 feet away from where you would have normally come out on another trail. So we're now 9.4 kilometers into this ride. There's a lot of routes on this part, a lot of ins and outs. See, the hydro access road is here, which you could ride, but why would you when you've got trails in here that you can ride instead? So I don't know if you'd call this section techie or just regular, but it's lots of turns to make and lots of routes to contend with. Dragonfly having a race with me. So now we finally come out at the hydro road, but we're a lot further down it than we would have been had we just taken the trail that I normally take to get out there, even though it still comes out at this road. There's the field for Brock University. I don't know if you can see, but way down on the other side there's a giant trapeze climbing adventure sort of deal. Never seen anybody using it, but then again, I don't go to Brock, so it is what it is. And we got some folks up here doing maintenance. One of the pumping station buildings for the hydro is just up here. They actually do a really good job of maintaining these trails. There's actually volunteer programs that you can sign up for to help do maintenance on the trails, keeping the overgrowth cut back, which is a bonus, especially if you don't want ticks all over you, because there are lots of ticks out here. So by cutting all the brush back, leaves a nice open trail for you, so you're less likely to end up with a tick on you. Short hills is a slightly different story. You always got to check for ticks once you come off of a ride in short hills, which we'll also film. Eventually we'll get out there before the end of the season. So now I'm in behind Brock University. This is a fun little section with a fairly large rock garden downhill part that can be quite tricky to do, and it's definitely somewhere where you do not want to fall, because you'd end up probably with some pretty significant injuries if you did. And that's coming up right here. So I'm going to switch up a couple of gears, and then I'm going to drop my dropper post right out while I get stuck on a rock. And this is a section here. And then it goes this way again. And we continue. There's another janky section that you can either take at ridiculously high speed, but again, this is not somewhere that you want to fall. These big jaggedy rocks can probably do some serious damage. And now we're at the hydro hill, which you can get going pretty fast down here. Normally I would ride that a little bit faster, except they've just resurfaced it again with more loose gravel. And again, doing 45 kilometers an hour down that hill, you don't want to be falling. And then we cross straight into a section of this trail called Snakes and Ladders. Now this is where you're going to find some of the features that can be fun for more experienced riders. I mean, this little tabletop, whatever you call this thing, isn't so bad. But there's a real sketchy gap up here, which I don't take. I think the ramp would fall if you tried to ride it. I'm not sure it's set up properly. And there's a drop that my girlfriend took and completely destroyed her rear rim, which is right here. And I've never even actually taken this drop before, even though it doesn't really look that big. I mean, if I come down here, I mean, it's all nice and open. Like, it's not like you're gonna hit anything, but you know, if you see this, you're probably gonna land, you know, somewhere down here. So that can be quite intimidating for a lot of riders, and you definitely are going a reasonable speed. So again, my girlfriend hit this and literally folded her back rim in half, and that was on her Kona on WTB rims. So she ended up on her face down there at the bottom in a tree, and ever since then I've been a little weary of actually hitting this thing. I mean, I guess if you go slow enough, you'd only get a few feet of air before you hit. But you can go beside it. I mean, you can just take that way if you want. But I'm actually going to be taking this way, which has a lot more techie stuff involved. So, and a lot of off-camber hills and things. There's a sizable gap over here that, if was set up properly, would probably be really fun to hit. And normally I get going really fast through here, but you can see this gap here. I'm sure people have hit it in the past, but it clearly needs to be rebuilt. And if you case this, shit, I'll bleep that. I want to be family friendly, but I could imagine how much screwing that gap up could mess up your whole day. Anyway, maybe we'll come and rebuild it one day. Well, we'll see. So this is all snakes and ladders here. Woo! This leads into a very awkward, skinny, and an uphill section that I can never get up. I think I'm just in the wrong gear for it, and pedal smashing off these big rocks. And again, if you mess it up, you're hitting a tree or bailing into a rock at the side of the trail. You can see you got a tree literally right there with a rock, an off-camber skinny up onto a cement pipe. And then this is just a bunch of switchbacks and things going uphill, leading to the last, what I would say high speed spot would be, with a couple of little jumps. I don't know if you can tell, but it is quite steep through here. So it's a bit of a climb. And my plan, when I film this loop in reverse, oh, hit my thing, move my knee pad here. I plan on coming down this way, the opposite direction, which I've never actually done before. So it could be crash central. So we're on what I believe is the Merritt side trail, which is right now running parallel to 12 Mile Creek, heading back to my start point. But this is a lot more fun than just riding at the bottom there along the creek. Now I'm not going to jump over this log, because every time I do, I smack my chain and my chain ring off it. Okay, good foot positioning. This is a little bit of an off camber downhill. If you're super confident, you can get going really fast. Jump. There's another one here. Leads right into this. Another wrap around here. Again, I really like that section. And then we're back at the bottom on our way back to the start point of the loop along the 12 Mile Creek Trail. This is all pretty much flat ground riding at this point, but it is fairly smooth, so you can get riding pretty good through here, get some decent speed going, and then coast for a little while if you feel like. That's how I like to do it. Which is coming up just after this, which is a small hill. Again, nice little last push for the legs. This is probably the last of the hill sections that would be considered reasonable. And we're already back up to flat. And now I can get going here. I can do a little bit of coasting. Little mouse running across there. Hitting trees with my GoPro. And we're now, according to my computer, 12.35 kilometers in to this ride. And again, it's going to vary slightly depending on which trails you actually take back behind there, where there's multiple choices. Some are a bit longer than others, some are a bit shorter. Yeah, we keep it consistent 20 to 25 kilometers an hour through here. The dirt's nice and dry and packed down. Not a lot of roots to contend with. So it's fairly easy to keep a decent pace through here without too much energy expenditure. Do a little root hop. Nice little incline. Uh-oh. Oh, well, this was unexpected. What is going on here? You got a police line with the police here. Huh. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pass these guys. Doesn't look like it. Huh. Oh, something's going on. It's none of my business, but okay. Well, hi. Yeah, I'm parked in the parking lot, so I just gotta walk up and over.
Yeah, sorry, we're dealing with something here.
No problem. No problem. So I'm gonna have to do something a little bit unexpected here. Obviously something's going on. Got police underneath the bridge here. And they've closed it, so obviously something's happened. I'm sure I'll be able to find out what happened under there on Niagara 411 or on Facebook. I'm sure lots of people will be posting it. I hope nobody's dead under there, but it's not uncommon, especially with the fentanyl issues and rampant drug use that happens down in this area. A lot of homeless people. Oh, this was unexpected, but oh, and we got another guy doing the same thing right behind us. I don't know what's going on down there, but something. All right. Filming YouTube video of the trails. So we'll ride up to the parking lot entrance here where we started. Slightly interesting and eventful end to the ride. Oh yeah, and there's all your police presence. Oh, and here's the gentleman with the thing. Let's go see if he knows what's going on. What's happening?
I don't know. Would they let you through?
No, I had to climb up and over at Glendale.
I had no idea.
Huh.
They were looking at a strap or something.
Yeah, I saw something hanging.
Hanging there. I'm not sure what.
Who knows?
I don't know.
That'll make an interesting end for the YouTube video, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you.
I'm just putting something on Facebook. I did 2 laps. The first lap I was too fast. They called the cops.
Breaking the speed limit on the 12 Mile Creek Trail.
Yeah.
Now there's always something interesting going on down here.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Anyway, I got your message there. So
I sent you a text, man. I try to ride every day.
now once I get the video uploaded and edited and stuff, I'll send you the link.
Right on, brother.
Sounds good, man. Take it easy. All right, well, back to my truck. So in this case, according to my computer, we did 13.21 kilometers today on that particular loop ride. So let's so that's going to do it for today's loop video. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, or dislike, comment, whichever you want to do. Either way, we appreciate it, and I appreciate it. Again, got police over there doing something, but yeah, so thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.